Do it again. Okay.
It's good. You can all hear me okay?
We can hear you better now. Much better.
Okay. All right. So I'm excited to share because this is a great story. Okay. 10 years ago, approximately 10 years ago, my wife had developed breast cancer. She had that removed, but we did not want to do the radiation that they had, and so we began to take a NRF2 activator. And so we were quite happy for about 10 years doing that. No return of the cancer, and but during a regular checkup with some things my wife was testing as a result of some liver issues she had from COVID, they found in a blood test a problem. And so nevertheless, we found out that she had about a softball-sized ovarian tumor. And so they quickly made arrangements to remove that, and which they did. Now, my wife's CA-125 was at 538. Normal is between 1 and 37. After they removed that, initially, the doctor had thought that it was going to be stage 3, and stage 3 of that certain kind. She has a rare kind of ovarian tumor that generally 95% of the people that get it don't survive 5 years. And when I saw that, I did not like that at all. Love my wife, wanted to be around here absolutely as long as possible. So we began to really pray for wisdom, ask other people to pray, and Bai Ming actually saw that Kathy was having some issues and began to talk with us. And and she introduced us to Fountain of Life. While I was also studying things, my first degree was in chemistry, so I'm very interested in that kind of thing. I began to look at what I thought the doctor was going to recommend, and for my wife's kind of cancer, platinum-based chemo, I saw peer reviews that showed that it was 5% effective. Not 50%, not 80%, not 95%, 5%. And so we met post-surgery with the doctor. A couple weeks after the surgery, he said, surgery went well. Now our standard protocol for you is 6 months of chemo. And which I asked, so is that platinum-based chemo? Oh, yeah. And he started to talk to me about it. I said, well, I saw a peer-reviewed study that said that it was 5% effective. Well, maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's a little bit more than that. But you're right. We really don't know the best way to handle this. And I'm like, oh my goodness, if I wouldn't have asked that question, the doctor and the hospital, which is a profit-making entity, they would have just put my wife through 6 months of torture through chemo. And he said, well, we can try something else, maybe a hormone blocker, or immunotherapy is not very effective with her kind of cancer that she had. So we said, well, we'll think about it. He said, okay. So long story short, we began to research and do some things that we felt were good. So the first thing that we did is we did a 10-day fast, water only. Everything that I read was that after about 3 or 4 days, your body actually begins to produce new stem cells that replicate much better than your old ones. And so we did a 10-day, I did it with my wife, a 10-day water-only fast to kind of reset her immune system. The second thing we did is we looked at everything that we ate and didn't eat, and though my wife had been very careful in her eating, we did some new things. We added some very powerful mushrooms to her daily diet. I don't, but she does. The third thing that she began to do was, and thank you, Bai Ming, 3 times a day, 3 eyedroppers full of Fountain of Life. And so we did that for probably 4 months, maybe 5 months. Right now, she's dropped back to about 6, 3 in the morning, and then some later. And of course, we just kept praying, and we just kept enjoying life. We refused to live in fear, but we live with a great confidence and an expectation of a long and fruitful life. And so the really, really neat thing is that, we don't have any fear. We don't have any fear of cancer. I think fear is one of the worst things that can really perpetuate health issues and that type of thing. So we continue. In 2 days, we leave for China, and we'll be in China for 2 months, come back in July. So that, in a nutshell, is our story. And if you have any further questions, I will be happy to answer, and hopefully you can hear me.
That's great, Kurt. Wow, I'm so appreciate that you're trusting me for a life well lived. So I think that last time I mentioned about the sleeping issues. Do you feel that your wife's Kathy's sleeping is getting better, or if you?
Yes, we were doing. She was doing